I'm tired, Herschel. My family. Maybe I can find them here. No, Rick. You have to wake up.
Little things do end, but it's never the end of everything. So we don't die. It's not about you or me or any one of us. It's about all of us.
It's the only way that this gets done, and this has to get done. You understand me? It has to. I'm sorry.
As a lot of you know, I'm no stranger to using scenes we've already had with Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead to find out about future scenes and what Rick Grimes' story has ahead of him. Last time we spoke about Rick Grimes, we figured out that he's most likely in a city, Charlotte in North Carolina or Philadelphia. And just months after we figured that out, the official teaser came out for the Rick Grimes movie, and we got it right. Rick Grimes is in a city, and it does look like Philadelphia. So now we've figured out where Rick is most likely being taken, I think it's time we talk about what's gonna happen when Rick gets there. Before we begin, make sure you've watched my other videos in the Finding Rick Grimes playlist, so that you're familiar with what A and B mean, and where Rick Grimes is. This video will be waiting here for you right after you've seen them. And before we get into this video, this theory is massively helped by Toby Farrant's art. He was nice enough to give this theory to me to turn it into a video and take it a bit further. So if you've got some time, make sure to go and check out his Instagram. This video wouldn't be possible without him. Now let's begin. In Season 9, Episode 5, Rick Grimes' final episode, Rick saw a number of hallucinations. He even saw his younger self from Season 1. He even went back to Atlanta where this all started, only to end up in a different city. But what Rick also sees is his fallen friends. Rick hallucinates 3 characters that have previously died on The Walking Dead. He sees Shane, Herschel, then Sasha. It makes the episode not just about Rick's last goodbye, but these characters as well. These are the characters' last scenes. When we last saw these 3 characters, they died in quite horrible ways. It was quite upsetting. But to see them how Rick is hallucinating them is quite a nice way for it to end on a good note. These characters got their final goodbyes, but goodbye isn't just what they said. Rick was seeing these characters because he was dying. He was tired and losing blood. He was becoming doubtful and pessimistic. He says to Herschel he wants to just stay here, maybe he can find his family here. But Herschel tells him that can't be the case because where Herschel is on the other side. Shane says to Rick that he needs to bring out the anger and the determination out again. That's how he's going to get through this. Then later on in the episode, Rick enters a room. He's hallucinating everyone he knows or has ever known to be dead. And out of the pile comes Sasha. Sasha is someone who sacrificed herself for the greater good. She tells Rick it's not just about him and her. It's about everyone. That he's got to make it so that when people die, it's not the end. This theory suggests that these 3 characters are warning and telling Rick Grimes that he must find the cure. And if Rick Grimes really does never return to The Walking Dead, it's likely that he sacrifices himself for it. Now, it's okay if you're skeptical. Let's go back to when Shane is talking to Rick. This is the first character that he sees. Shane uses examples of things that Rick has already done in the past to motivate and get Rick to fight.
The only way this gets done, Rick, I want you to think about how you bit that piece of shit's throat out. Asshole in the church with the red machete. That is what I'm talking about. That's the shit that I need from you, that I always knew you had in you. I knew you had it in you, Rick, and it is time. You want answers? You want to know what this is all about?
Shane says to Rick, if you want answers, if you want to know what this is all about, you need to find the rage. So he needs to be like how he was in season 4 and 5 in order to get through this and survive what he's doing right now, which is bleeding out. When Shane says to Rick, you want answers, you want to know what this is all about, what do you think he's talking about? Well, Rick is hearing this from Shane, the last person he was with just moments before the apocalypse happened. He didn't hear this from Herschel or Sasha. He heard these exact words from the person he last saw in the normal world. Then the next character Rick sees is Herschel. He talks to him inside of Herschel's barn. Rick says trying to build this new civilization and make a less dangerous world hasn't been easy.
It hasn't been easy. We've been trying. But we'll get there. All of us.
Herschel says we'll get there, all of us, just before putting his hand on Rick's heart and telling him to wake up. Then of course Rick hallucinates everyone as dead and he talks to Sasha. Now this is the most alarming thing that one of these characters say to Rick.
Little things do end. But it's never the end of everything. Because we don't die. It's not about you or me or any one of us. It's about all of us.
Sasha says to Rick about how it's not about her and him. It's about all of us. It's never the end of anything because we don't die. Now let's combine everything these characters have said. Shane says to Rick, do you want answers? Do you want to know what this is all about? Shane's talk is all about motivating Rick and getting him ready for what his future holds. Herschel says it's been hard, but we'll get there. All of us will get there. Herschel's talk with Rick was about hope and eventually getting to a newer civilization. Sasha's talk with Rick was about ensuring him that after death it's not the end, more reminding him of that. Also reminding him that it's not just about them, it's about all of us, and that there's a thicker meaning to everything. I think the hidden meaning behind everything these characters said is about the cure, about finding answers, about us eventually getting to that safer world and dying for the greater good. Shane, a character known for having rage and determination, was there to motivate Rick. Herschel, a character known for wanting the best for everyone, was there to tell Rick that certain things cannot be. And Sasha, a character who sacrificed herself for the greater good, telling Rick that he's gonna have to do the same in the future. When these characters told Rick to wake up, they all did it in their own characteristic ways. Shane, the character full of rage, shouted at Rick and jumped at him. Herschel, the soft and loving character, put his hand on Rick's heart to wake him up. Sasha, the character there to talk about death, woke him up just by saying wake up. Rick fell as if he was dying. I think these scenes could hint that Rick would have to find the cure in the future, and that in the Rick Grimes movies he will be finding that cure, and it's possible he's even the cure himself. He could have fractured or avoided any effects of the virus because he was in a coma when the outbreak happened. That doesn't mean any of Rick's relatives were immune to the virus, but it means Rick could be because his body was in a constant rest when the virus was happening. Now, without spoiling Fear the Walking Dead for anyone that hasn't seen it, we saw a character from the CRM named Isabel. She spoke about her and her people wanting the greater good for the future, and if any of these characters saw someone from the CRM, they should be scared because these are people that care about the future more than themselves. If the CRM really are looking for a cure, with Rick Grimes possibly being immune, arriving at the CRM as an injured person, very quickly the CRM will find out that Rick is immune, and that they can create something out of his immunity. This would explain why Rick has been away for so long, because with the CRM having him in possession, they found someone who is immune, the answer to all their problems. Now, Robert Kirkman did say he would never like to explore the idea of a cure, and he didn't. Spoilers for the Walking Dead comics, he killed off Rick Grimes and ended the comics straight after. If Rick Grimes in the TV universe does turn out to be immune, it could also mean that the comic Rick was also immune, but it was just never explored. It doesn't matter because he's dead now. Robert Kirkman also said the comics was more about Rick Grimes. When he died, the comics died with him. He said the TV universe is more about the universe as a whole. That means both universes have different ambitions now. If the TV show universe is about the universe as a whole, then The idea of a cure or people wanting a cure changes the narrative from just having villains, walkers, and the good survivors. And if the main show really is going to go on as long as it's said to be, it's not actually a bad idea to give it more depth. But let me know what you think. On the top right of your screen, you're going to see an eye icon. Just click or tap on that and you can vote in the poll. Do you agree with this theory? Do you think these three characters were really warning Rick Grimes and telling him about the future? Does this give us a bit more of an insight to what's going to happen in these movies? I think it's entirely possible. It's not really something that would break the science of the show. It's just some hints. It's something that Angela Kang has put in there. A bit like when Rick hallucinated the city. That was right, and I think this could be too. Remember, this theory doesn't suggest that these characters actually came back and magically supernaturally told Rick that this would happen. Rick is hallucinating these characters, and Angela Kang has specifically chose specific things for them to say, and the fact that they said these exact things, it does make me think that maybe there's something a bit more to them, and I think there is. So just let me know what you think, and of course don't just vote in the poll, make sure to comment down below what you think. I genuinely want to hear what you think about this one. We've got quite a while to wait until this movie is even filmed, and there's meant to be 3 of them, so it's good to be making theories about Rick Grimes again. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to press the like button. It actually genuinely helps support me and will get this video seen by more The Walking Dead fans. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to check out my other videos that are similar to this one. In my latest video, we talk about Ezekiel's death being foreshadowed and teased in the latest Season 10 teaser. I think it hints to him having one of the most horrific deaths that The Walking Dead comics ever had. So if you're looking forward to Season 10, make sure to go and check that one out. And if you want to see the latest teaser for Season 10, the latest sneak peek shows the characters are finding the bodies of the Pike victims from Season 9. So if you want to see who I think that is, just make sure to go and check that one out. And of course, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.